Hey y'all, I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In the middle of Dallas and Fort Worth, there's a city named Arlington, and that is where now you can find the Dallas Cowboys, the Texas Rangers, and Six Flags Over Texas. I wanted to tell you how we chose our colors for our Barstool. These are called primary colors because you can't mix another color to get these. But the color wheel, which is round amazingly enough, you can get your secondary colors by mixing two primary colors. So red and yellow are orange, red and blue are purple, yellow and blue are green. To pick a really great color to go with it, if you look across the color wheel, they're gonna look nice together. Like here you've got Denver Broncos colors or Christmas, kind of a blue-green, teal, turquoise color. This one would be tertiary. Six Flags has been there so long that my mother worked there when she was 15, 16 in one of their restaurants. And some 25 years later, I worked there in one of their restaurants. It stunk after you got home. We used a plastic plate for dipping. We started with some canning lids and then changed our mind with how those turned out, so we only used them once. We also have a bottle top from Young Living and a Coca-Cola plastic bottle lid. One thing, there are a few things that stand out to me, like the time my coworker got an Iron Man watch and he talked about how the elephant stood on it and the sumo wrestlers would put them on their stomachs and slam their stomachs up together, and that watch could withstand it all. And I casually said, I wonder if you could put it in the microwave. You can't. It had a 5 on it before, and you can see a little bit of that, but probably right in the center of that. North, south, east. But there's this woman who walked up to the counter and she ordered, and I think maybe, I don't remember, I was making drinks or something and she didn't order a drink, or I had already given it to her. And then I started playing and laughing and flirting, I'm sure. And this woman, she looks at me and reads my name tag and she said, "Well, Julie, what are you doing to speed this thing along?" And I remember. You know what, it's not even that I remember, but like it is part of my inner makeup of, here's what I should have said. Probably should have dumped a drink on this woman. I should have walked away. I should have said this really smart aleck thing. I used 220 sandpaper to knock down the texture of each of the paint, especially since we were pulling it up and it was creating those ridges. I sanded it down, but I do recommend that you use an air compressor to blow it off. DIY paint is so pigmented that if you run your hands through it,
you're going to end up smearing the darker colors onto the lighter colors.
I think the thing where it clicked in my head the best is that I was at the grocery store by myself doing the grocery shopping, which is, it's not really a fun activity, but you get the time by yourself. And so I was going past the door back to the shipping and receiving or whatever, and this kid comes out barreling through the door, almost running over me. And I said, "Oh, excuse me." And he just stared at me. And I said, "You know, polite manners would be if you said excuse me too." So that was the day that my momness came out, and I truly learned to appreciate what that woman was going through. I don't know if boys overthink things, but if he does, and he's thinking about the rude comment that he should have said to me 10 or 12 years ago, when he's a parent, he'll get it. And until then, I'm sorry.
I used a clear wax on top of the seat to seal the colors in. You can see that the wax darkened it up quite a bit. After the wax dries, it will be somewhere between what it looked like without wax and what it looked like with the wax wet.
But now that I'm a mother, the only thing that I would want to say to that woman, if you're around, I want to say, I'm sorry you felt that way, and I get it, and you're forgiven.
I'd like to thank DIY-aGoGo for hosting us today, and also let you know that we do have our own channel at Purple Monkey Manor on YouTube, and then you can also find out more about us at purplemonkeymanor.com.